Manantial de Salud, Dove Springs.
We weren't raised, when we were children, we did not grow up in the city and urban environment. So we're kind of struggling to figure out how to raise our kids in an urban environment and still have the same kind of values that we have as children. Especially the values of like cooking all your own food. When I grew up, there was like basically no fast food places to go to. Like kids' food when we were growing up, what was brought to the table for all of us was the same things my parents were eating. And the same with Manfredo too, you know, the whole family ate the same thing together. You know, sitting down together every night and eating a meal together is really important. So that's a family value that Manfredo's family had and that my family had too. So, you know, every time we go to the grocery store, we don't overbuy our food. We try to like not have anything rot. So you do have to go to the grocery store more frequently, but you can still just take a weekly trip and buy an array of fruits and vegetables, but not too much, you know, just enough that your family's going to eat so you don't. So I think reducing wastage is really important. Well, we eat almost nothing canned, nothing at all. But it's good to have, I think, some frozen veggies though too. Always have a few frozen veggies on hand because then you can throw them in if you don't have what you need. So have those basics and maybe some like canned tomatoes. And all that's really cheap, you know, some canned tomato sauce, some frozen mixed vegetables, and also kind of pick and choose what you want to have organic. I would love if I could feed my family 100% organic everything. But the reality is it's more expensive usually. What I've always been told is the things you eat the most frequently and that have the highest contamination levels are things you should buy organic. So like I buy our milk organic. I don't buy organic bananas or citrus because those are peeled. Try to go for organic apples and greens. I try to buy greens. Another thing with the greens is I love it. They have the lettuces or the like romaines and things that have, it's like the stalk and come the roots kind of stuff, and that lasts 100 times longer than the chopped up greens. So that's one way you can reduce wastage and make it cheaper is buy things whole, you know, or try to buy local. And usually local isn't much more expensive. I think sometimes local can be cheaper. So I look for the local produce a lot because I figure at least that didn't travel as far. It's going to be a healthy alternative than something. And also buy in season. Whatever you're going to get is cheap. Just face it that you're not going to eat peaches all year round. You eat what is appropriate for that time of year, and that's going to be cheaper. You know, if oranges are on sale because it's, you know, December, middle of winter, we eat oranges and mostly only oranges. We buy the fruit that's in season, and that's cheapest. Basically, expose them to as many different kinds of foods as you can, just like you know, safely. It's like you expose them to different experiences and, you know, learning opportunities, and food is another one of those learning opportunities. So we try to expose our kids to lots of different kinds of foods. And I think as a parent, we're responsible for exposing them to different kinds of fruits and vegetables. And if you start from the time they're infants, basically, you know, from they're very young, when they first start eating, they're going to like it when they get older. When we're in the grocery store or any other place that we go, or we're traveling or something, and they see a fruit or vegetable and they want to buy it, we're like, sure, yeah. And that's the thing in the store is that they've learned is they want to buy, you know, cupcakes or, you know, some sugar. We're like, no, but you can pick out a fruit or vegetable, and we get to the fruit and vegetable section and they'll pick something out. They'll see something they want. They'll want those little cherry tomatoes, or anytime they say, Mommy, I want that fruit or I want that vegetable, as long as it's not super expensive, like a dragon fruit that costs $7, you know, we'll buy it, or at least one. Like, yeah, you haven't had that. Let's try that. And we'll get home, we'll try it. Maybe they won't like it, but they'll at least take some bites. And modeling it ourselves. I mean, my husband and I have to eat it. We can't just offer the kids spinach and not eat any ourselves. Like, being good models, and you can't be hypocritical. You have to practice what you preach, and I think it pays off. I think our kids are healthy and strong and active, and they're not picky eaters. We go someplace, they'll eat food wherever we go. So.